Hey guys, it's Wednesdays with Chasey Poo, and today I'm going to be talking about stereotypes of where you're from. Something like that. It's like a funny video. I feel like this should be like one of those skit videos, but I have not been okay lately, and I will explain why briefly. I suffer from a lot of anxiety. If you didn't know from any of my other videos, or if you haven't checked my channel in a while, this anxiety is like debilitating and prevents me from leaving my house. So I feel like I am not a very productive member of Transtastic currently. I am still making videos, I am still editing them, and I am still posting them. Great. I'm still planning the conference, I'm still planning the hotel, and all of that stuff. I just feel like I'm not a super productive member. But anyways, I'm gonna talk about maybe like the biggest stereotype of where I'm from is that everyone is nice. I live in Canada, and I want to talk about a couple of things. First of all, I live in Quebec, Canada. Quebec is like a separate country completely. First of all, there's a lot of French people that want to separate from Quebec, from Canada. Oh my god, I'm all over the place. Warm. Canada is a very nice place to be. And yes, we are very friendly and we're very nice, especially if you compare it to America. No offense. We are nice, but when you walk into Quebec and you speak English, that's when it gets a little bit tough, because I have gotten more like nice comments and more politeness and please and thank yous and oh, thank you for opening the door for me in America. I'm gonna say like in the West Coast and in the East Coast, nothing like south. I have gotten more like nice and nice people in those areas than I have in Quebec when you speak English. I'm not saying Quebec is a bad place. Quebec is not the best place to be if you are trans though. I will say that. But especially if you're like a trans refugee or a trans migrant or a trans immigrant, it's very hard to get your name. You can't change your name or gender marker, but that's not what this is about. We are nice, but if you are not a tourist and you speak English to somebody who is like Quebec, gonna give you a lot of attitude. And I speak French, it's my first language, and sometimes I like to fuck with people just because I like to go to a place and like I can tell this person isn't gonna speak English to me, so I purposely speak English. And then I see that they give me attitude, they don't even try. They don't even try to speak English. The second you try to speak English, woman, I'm gonna go ahead and speak French to you, and you're gonna be surprised that I speak so well. But because you didn't try at all, I'm gonna make you suffer and make you fucking do it to me and do it to me. Speak to me in French while I speak to you in English, so it's all confusing. Usually that doesn't work though, because they're like, quoi? I'm so rude, I'm gonna get so much shit from people. Listen, toots, I've lived here my whole life, I was born here, okay? If the biggest stereotype about Canada is that we're nice, the biggest stereotype about Quebec would be that, I mean, I guess because Quebec is part of Canada, is that we're rude, okay? That's what I'm saying, is that that's not a stereotype. I feel like Quebecers are rude. Which means I'm rude. Oh shit, did I just fuck myself up right there? Oh fuck. But really, if you want to know more why it's not good to be trans in Quebec, because I feel like a lot of people think that, like a big stereotype about Canada is that it's like, oh, free healthcare, oh my god, trans, you can transition, it's all free. There's a lot of places where it's not free in Canada. Like, you still need to pay for therapy, and you need 2 therapists for like surgery, and yeah, you can get surgery covered, and only recently have some provinces allowed surgery to be covered outside of Quebec, but before, you had to come all the way to Montreal to go to the top surgeon and the bottom surgeon, Dr. Broussard and Dr. Bélanger. And that sounds all great, and look at that, ooh, free healthcare, it's all free, you get it covered, but you have to pay for therapy. Whatever, it's still covered, you don't have to pay like $100,000 for phalloplasty. Yeah, but it is really not fun to be trans, especially in Quebec, when it comes to legal documents, because it's very hard to change your name and gender marker a couple of years ago. You needed to have surgery to change your gender marker. They have now changed it, but the big issue that we're having now is that if you're under 18, you can't change your gender marker, which is dangerous because there are trans kids that are transitioning, like when they're 16, when they're 2, that's dramatic, when they're 5, whatever, that should be allowed to change your gender marker and their name and all of that stuff, but you can't. And then if you are a refugee or a migrant or immigrant, you have to wait until you are a Canadian citizen in order to be able to change your name and gender marker. That can take up to 7 years, and that is ridiculous, and that is, I'm gonna say that's for Quebec, okay? No other place, everywhere else in Canada, if you are a refugee, migrant, whatever, you are allowed to change your name and gender marker except Quebec. So if you want more information about that, I will link a video below and a page below from the Gender Advocacy Center, which is part of Concordia. They made a huge series of videos about this, explaining why people should not move to Quebec because of this specific reason. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great day. I love you. Bye.